Good morning after night, everybody. How's it going?
Hello. Doing good.
All right. Well, appreciate the patience. We've had a couple crazy days in the office, so I had to cancel, but we are back in business. So good to see everybody.
Cheers.
Let's see. I've talked to a few of you individually about your P50, your median play time for games you published. Some of you guys are doing really, really well. I know others want to get your times up a little bit, but I've seen a lot of improvement. Anybody have any updates? Anything they want to share about how your game is doing?
My games are doing so bad like nowadays. I don't know why. Even if I make a good game or a bad game, it's in the same place. So it's
Can
frustrating a
you
little bit.
can you share the number? This is unfortunately a common source of frustration. Can you share the stats?
Yeah, sure. Let's take for example the uh, the, the glass game.
And by the way, while we're figuring this out, I'm checking out the games in the queue. We'll get into playtesting in a few minutes. Okay, so we're at 105 for the Glassbreaker game. So first of all, I want to be clear, if you're over a minute, you're doing pretty good. Like our goal is, the best games are at about a minute 20 plus, but getting there is not always trivial. As DJM explained, even his City Rider game, which is killing it, started off at around 105. And then you went through a bunch of phases of changing the game and trying to get some feedback from users, that kind of thing. So I don't want anyone to feel discouraged. If you're over a minute, you're already in a really good place. And even if you're under a minute, there's usually a lot you can do to improve it. But the minute 20 goal is kind of the goal. It's not the expectation that everybody's game performs that way all the time. So anyway, I understand you want to get your numbers higher. I totally get that, but I also don't want people thinking that if they did 105, they failed. That means people are playing your game for a healthy amount of time. Um, and I think we talked about this. So I apologize, and I'm probably blanking on this, but how did the download time look on this game?
It was 7 seconds.
That's on the slow connection, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so 7 seconds, you're probably within the reasonable zone. That doesn't jump out at me as like a huge source of problems. So one idea I had, and this is just my opinion, but opinions can be a really good way to brainstorm strategies to modify your game a little bit. As a player, so this is just uh, subjective input, but as a player, I kind of felt like I would have preferred the game to be a little bit faster. I'm curious if you've considered maybe making some updates with things like that. I mean, ball speed is one example. There could be a lot of others, and seeing if the number changes if you're going to change the parameters of the game a little bit.
Sure.
It's something to think about. And I think one of the great things about being where you are at 105 is you're actually, even though I know it's maybe if it's not the number you want, it's kind of a bummer, but you're in a really good position to experiment because your game is already out there. If you make an update, it updates immediately. It doesn't have to go back through the whole 3 day approval process. Which means you can pretty much try stuff as quick as the ideas come to you. So if there's something about your game that you're thinking people might enjoy the game more widely if I change this or change that. You can basically do that immediately. Give it a day or two, and if the numbers change, great. And if they don't, maybe try something else. So it is a good place to be because at least you've got the ability to experiment.
Mhm.
Skull Hunter says, interestingly, this was doing way worse, and it got better by time and out. So this is another thing that also everyone should know. So what we are slowly rolling out, and we're actually seeing improvements now over time that are measurable, is we're increasing the quality of the recommendation system in Astrocade. So people are actually being served games that are more aligned with what we think they like based on data. We didn't have anything like that until very recently, and we're still just getting started. There's a lot planned to make it better. So I don't want this to make anybody get too complacent, but it actually does mean your games will almost all start performing somewhat better naturally because we're going to be doing a better job of serving them to players that actually might like them. Whereas right now, your game may perform sort of poorly just because you could have a ton of people playing your game that are just not fans of that genre. right? Which has got nothing to do with your game. It's just like, if I don't like puzzle games, I'm not going to play your puzzle game, right? We're finally getting to the point now where that's going to start happening a lot less. Be Little just posted one. I wouldn't think too much about this until you get into about 2,000 plays. At 736, the numbers are kind of all over the place. But that is low enough that it would make me wonder if you have download issues. Be Little, can you share the graph button below that shows what the breakdown of different play session lengths is? Hmm. So the majority of people are in 10 to 30 seconds. Now, that's definitely a very worrisome sign. And it really makes me think there's something really wrong with the very beginning of your game, which could be a download thing. It could be something. Wait, download is 4 seconds? Seriously? Oh my God. That blew up my theory. Wow. Okay, so if downloads aren't the issue, then maybe we'll play it. Maybe we'll play test it during the session today, and we'll see if we can brainstorm some ideas. Because you have a really good core of a game there. So I think there's something about the way you're presenting it that might need help. But I think the game itself is solid.
Hey, good for Amazon.
Okay, so this is great. Um, I appreciate everyone sharing. I think this is really important. So why don't we jump into some playtesting?
Hello? Huh? Hello? Yeah, yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go see why Monvy's not here, and then if she doesn't show up here, I will just privately blame everything on her. 1 second. Oh, I take it back. Monvy is actually wrapping up the announcements for the game jam, and she'll be here after that. So I will still blame her for things until she arrives. By the way, we do have that coming out today, so thanks again to everybody that joined the satisfying themed game jam. We had a lot of really, really good submissions. All right, well, let's get into yes, Pika P, as always, knows more about what's going on behind the scenes than I do, so thanks for clarifying. All right, let's jump into some games.
Alex, if you may, I want to say something about the website, if possible.
Yeah, go for
it. I see, like we have a player choice category in the website. I would like to add the new, like, unique category for creators who create like unique games, not just copy games existing in other platforms or Steam or wherever. Because if I am a player and I came to Astrocade to play new games and I see just copy games,
it.
like copies of other games in the website, I prefer to play the original one. Why I play a copy one that's not perfect like the existing one? So it's if we made this category, I think we encourage the creators to create unique games, not just copies of other games.
Do you mean remixing specifically, or do you just mean games that are similar to other games, just in general?
No, in general, all games.
I see. Well, so the biggest question we would have for something like that is how do we make that? How do we make the data drive that? Because what we want to avoid, and we've almost gotten past this entirely, is human decisions for curation. Just because we have so many users that we want this to be based on play patterns. So I think the biggest question the team would ask was how do we determine which games are unique, as opposed, yeah, meaning without it just being opinion, right? I think if there's a way to do that, that would be something that we would probably be interested in. I would suggest submitting this idea in the bugs channel. And if not, I can also, if you want to DM it to me, I can pass it along as well. Because we always take creator input like this seriously. We want people to feel like their games are being, given proper attention. And the general feedback of kind of derivative games overshadowing the original, that's something we hear a lot of. It's something we take very seriously. So we're working on that. But it'd be great to think about what exactly it means to call something unique. Like how you could kind of objectively define that. It may be something to think about. But like I said, if you pass along like a little summary of that, I will definitely submit it to the team internally. But just to be clear, we hear variations of this from different people, and we agree. We don't want people to think that this game is, or this website is swamped with games that are kind of like rip-off games. Nobody wants that. So there's a lot of things in the works, the Rexus being one of them, sorry, the recommendation system, because games that are legitimately popular but are still maybe a niche are being kind of ignored and lost entirely. And then meanwhile, more like kind of like I don't know, popular genres that are maybe done with less quality, just because of their popularity, can rise above those things. So just having better recommendations already kind of levels the playing field. So you're going to see a lot of improvements there. We mentioned this a while ago, but it still hasn't totally taken effect. We've disabled remixing by default. Games are only remixable if you want people to remix them, which also means we've seen a somewhat of a drop off in the amount of games that are just rip-offs of other games. That's also improving. And there's a couple of things we're doing. So please keep that feedback coming. It keeps us focused on it, but I can assure you we are working on some things that are already in the pipeline that will hopefully make this a little bit better in the near term. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going to jump.
someone mentioned I shared one of my games here, and someone said to share it somewhere else, and I couldn't make out where it said to share it.
Yeah, there's another channel called Submit Your Game, and that is where we are posting the games now for play in.
Okay, that makes more sense, I suppose.
Yeah, Be Little just shared it in the chat, and so did Pikapi in bigger letters. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Oops. Okay, everyone sees my screen. By the way, I don't know what is going on with this title screen. It is apparently impossible to get QBrush to appear in normal sized letters.
Hey, do you have any audio on the screen, or is there like I don't know if I'm able to see your screen. I don't know where to go for that. Does it say do you have like a join stream button or something, or is this something else? I do apologize for asking.
No, please ask. Discord
She's
should.
joined like I am, and she's new.
Oh, got it. Well, then in that case, I can honestly say I don't know how that works. We're sharing the video from my screen, so unfortunately, I don't know what that means for people who are viewing Discord through some other means. Dalen, do you have any thoughts on this? How should I be thinking about screen sharing? I know it's kind of a silly question, but for a blind.
It depends on how you're. I mean, Tally, are you okay? So what you do? I mostly am being. Oh, what? Okay, sorry about that. Well, anyway, I'm usually the one sharing the screen, but I mean, if Darren can do it, I mean, if he can, he's totally blind like us, and he can start the stream too. So if the stream started, all you have to do is just go into I guess where it says start stream or something.
What's your name? The person who is sharing the screen.
My name is Alex. It's supposed to be shared to the entire channel. I don't know if it works that way for your.
Should. Let's see. Alex.
Submit your game. There it is.
Well, yeah, no, I did. I was adjusting something. I'm going to share it again in a second.
Yeah, it just says disconnect on my end. Okay, I can see something.
Okay,
or it could just be the Discord thing. I don't know. It's being silly.
Well, we're going to get started. I'll also be narrating. I usually discuss what I'm seeing when we're playing, so there is audio content as well. Let me know if that comes through. We're playing the game QBrush. We've been watching this game evolve over the last couple of weeks. I think it's been a really good place for a while now. It's been mostly refinement, although there is this weird ongoing saga of the title screen just somehow not being the right size. Personally, I always thought it looked cool, so I know it's not what the creator wants, but I like the look of it. I think it might be a little bit smaller, though. I feel like I'm seeing more of the letters than before, but it's still very large, and I think it's unique to this browser for some reason. Not sure why that is. In any case, I think it's a good example of a game because it's got really, really simple rules, but nice, refined execution. So let's do a quick run through of QBrush in its latest form. So one thing I'm noticing immediately that definitely helps is I feel like the walls have been pulled in to make it very clear where the boundaries of the track are. That was something I found confusing originally. Also, it looks like the creator took the suggestion of adding jumping, which is interesting because this really does change the dynamics of the game a lot. My attitude was, personally, as a player, jumping is fun. I'd love to be able to do it, but I also would have understood if the creator said, that's not the game I'm going for, but it looks like the creator was game for it. So very, very, very cool. And it also, if I'm reading this right, I think the creator has done something else that was suggested here, which was giving the player kind of a cool off period. Boy, unless there's something wrong with this, I feel like I'm going a long ways without obstacles. But giving the player a cool off period that allows them to just collect a bunch of rewards after facing a round of damage from Jesus, game gets hard. Anyway, sorry, hard to talk and play at the same time. The suggestion was a cooldown period, which basically means after the player gets through a tough spot of obstacles, giving them like a nice stretch of just basically easy reward with no challenge. I wonder if the balance is quite right here, because I feel like I went through a very long cooldown period, and then the difficulty level came back, turned up to like 1,000. But I think that concept is right. I think basically alternating between challenge and ease is smart. Oh, they turn invisible. I guess it's a power up I got. Okay, so that's great. One thing I'm noticing, though, I don't know if this is intentional, but it looks like I can just sort of infinitely jump. If that's the goal, that's kind of cool. I wonder if maybe it'd be good to limit that, because it's I wonder if I can essentially just hover my way over the obstacles, which probably isn't what the creator wanted. Good Lord. I guess I need it, though, because who's going to be able to keep up with this, right? Oh, look who's here. Look who finally decided to join us.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Monmi.
Hey, how are you all doing?
We were just catching up on some games. I was just playing a game that is in really good shape, but is now undergoing some interesting kind of changes with infinite jumping and insane speeds. I don't think the creator is here, so I'm not sure we can talk about it yet. But but this is definitely something to talk about.
That looks cool.
It does look very cool. It's I'm not sure how intentional this is, but it looks very cool. Okay.
A little overwhelming though.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Actually, before I get back to it, Monvi, it sounds like you just were dealing with Game Jam logistics. How's all that going?
Well, congratulations to everyone who got placed. I think you all did such a good job, and I love the mix of people for the audience score and the judges score. So I think you all did such a good job.
Yeah, the judging process was, I mean, it's always fun to see your games, but there was something especially fun about this one. I think this one had a really high concentration of games that were just fun. Like, the satisfying theme seemed to come through a lot of the play.
I agree. And also it was really challenging this time because we had 82 submissions, which is a record high. We never had this many before. So it was really competitive.
Wow.
So you all did such a good job.
Great job, guys. I wonder, though, if you just say
Good job, guys.
The theme is satisfying and then people make satisfying games, can we just say the theme is really good and then everyone makes really good games?
What do you all think about that?
The theme is minute 30 median playtime. That's our theme, everybody.
You know what? How about you do a mini game jam yourself where, yeah, for all of you guys, we can do a mini game jam where, well, whoever gets whatever median time Alex wants you to get, you can an academy jam.
No, that would be kind of cool.
idea.
It's not a bad idea. I kind of like that idea.
Like taking an exam at the end. I'm joking, guys. I really don't want to do that to you. But it'll be cool. Whoever gets it will get a reward.
Yeah, maybe we should do that.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I agree. No exams. My bad, guys. I didn't mean to give you all PTSD.
Okay, so we are now playing Desi Wheels Merge Tycoon. Sorry, Manvi.
Alex, what did I tell you?
I am. What did I tell you about certain accents?
Jeez. At least try. Try.
There's a fine line between trying and coming across the wrong way. I think there's something charming about my clumsy pronunciation. It's like I think it's very obvious that I mean well, and that I'm so bad at it, it's almost endearing, right?
What's going on here?
Never mind. Long story. Okay. This is Desi Wheels Merge Tycoon. Sorry, as it's pronounced, Desai Wheels Merge Tycoon. Did I get that right, Mavi?
Oh.
And I think it's a great game, but this will be instructive because B Little has shared some stats above, which granted, this is very early on. It's only got 700 plays, but the number is way lower than I'd like it to be. I think this is a game that deserves a lot more attention. So let's go through this game with our eyes peeled for opportunities to, or rather hypotheses for ideas for why maybe certain players are being held up in the first 10 to 30 seconds. Okay. Now, I'm not including download time. It sounds like this game is a 4-second download time on slow machines, which means it's doing totally fine. So it's basically anything other than that. All right. So, now that I look at this with fresh eyes, I find myself wondering, is step 1 of 7 maybe something that sends the wrong message to certain players looking for something casual? We talk a lot about onboarding, and I think the attempt here is great. This is a very polished, nicely integrated onboarding system, so that much is good. But my very first thought, I'm just sharing this off the top of my head, I know there's a skip tutorial button up here, although it's very small. It makes me wonder if this alone could be turning people off. Like someone starts a game, they see all these steps and like, you know what? I didn't sign up for that. So that's a possibility. Now, one thing that makes me think of is not get rid of the tutorial altogether. I think having some kind of tutorial is great, but I wonder if this could be pared down. Is it possible that like maybe 2 or maybe 3 steps gives the average user enough information, or if you'd lose something? I feel like it's a safe bet. You could probably reduce this more or less, right? So that's my thought. Spawn items, tap the spawn button to create a vehicle part in the grid. Okay. Spawn again. Now merge items. Drag one into the other. So here's what's great about this, is it's leaving nothing to chance. There's no way I'm going to be confused. The problem though is, in addition to all the steps, it's also just a lot of text. You've got step 6 through 7, highway deployment, a full sentence, and tap to continue. Like, I know it kind of sounds like I'm nitpicking, but I really don't think this is nitpicking. I think if you are going to show a tutorial, it's really important that the text is kept to an absolute minimum. And I don't just mean the length of the text like on, like Twitter. I mean like the presentation of the text. So if you think about this, we've got 4 different things competing for my attention, 5 if you include this skip tutorial button. We've got the step number, we have the title, that's got an emoji next to it. So there's really more than 5 if you think about it. You've got a pretty long sentence, because remember, this is 7 sentences they're reading, so each sentence has to be as short as possible, and even the continue button is almost a full sentence. So my first thought is cut this tutorial down and make each step display just simpler. Like, this is kind of redundant. I have step 6 out of 7, and I'm showing you the visuals. So I'd pick one of those, and in fact, I'd prefer the dots. Is probably better than more text to read. I think I'd maybe either lose the title altogether, or try to pack everything into something at the size of the title. Maybe it's like a 4-word summary instead of a full sentence. And then tap to continue. Maybe it just says continue or next or okay. I know these sound like minor changes, but I think they add up, because if you have 7 total steps and all of them have 4 or 5 different pieces of content, and the length of those 4 or 5 pieces of content is too much, just do the multiplication of that. It adds up to a huge amount of reading. So it really is possible that the underlying game is great, but the onboarding is just so heavy in terms of the visual that people give up and they just don't want to stick around. It's my first thought. Could be wrong, but I think it's worth. I think it's a relatively it's a relatively simple fix, and trying that is a pretty easy way to throw some experimentation in the mix. But I would wait maybe another day or so, get to about 1,000 or 2,000 plays before we start making changes, just to see if that number stabilizes. It could still go up. Beyond that, though, I think the game is good. It's the B Little made a lot of refinements while the game was in production originally, and I feel like those have paid off. I think as far as merge games go, this is a pretty good one. It's really cool that it's got this extra kind of driving component to it at the top. So you can see I get to a level 4, and then I can put this on the freeway, and now I've got this kind of like separate game going on top of the merging, which I think is awesome. So yeah, good game. My first thought is maybe find a way to make the onboarding a little bit less of a hassle, and post the updates. Let's see, a couple days from now, let's check in and see how the game's doing. Monvi, does anything in the Submit Your Game channel jump out to you as a game you would like to play? No pressure, just curious.
Okay, that is a lot of pressure, but I mean, all of them look great. I can just play one.
First of all, before I dig any deeper, obviously these fonts didn't load for me, right? Like this has got such a my fonts didn't load right look. I just want to confirm that that's true.
Yeah, it kind of looks weird because on my end it was a different font type.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah,
there is something for some reason I keep forgetting to bring to everyone's attention, and that is the fact that so there's a preview button and a wish button, and that makes sense. But the tap to wish button doesn't work unless the wish button is there. So the wish button either shouldn't be there, or it should just be the wish button should always be bringing up the text box.
Hey, actually, Dalen, that kind of feedback is great. Would you mind starting that in the chat? Then maybe we can escalate that because we're doing our playtest sessions now. We want to kind of stick to one game at a time, and then we can jump into chat topics when we get to the end of that.
Sorry.
No worries. Totally fine.
Hello. I was kind of thinking similar because I tried creating a couple of games last week or 2 weeks ago. I really wanted to create a cool RPG and a cool puzzle, but I didn't know what I was doing. I'm still learning, and I really don't know what I'm doing. So
Yeah,
I'll wait till you guys are. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's get to this at the end of the playtest session. We'll go over your feedback on the creator flow. But yeah,
okay, cool.
share it in the chat and
where it says show chat, Tally.
All right, thanks guys. All right, let's start this one over because I got distracted by the font thing, and I'm still kind of distracted by it. So right off the bat, this is one of the great things about playtesting is you can see what other people's screen experience looks like, and I think overall this game seems like it's running fine, but for whatever reason we got a weird loading issue with fonts. And it's kind of funny how Chrome has this amazing skill when it can't find the right font. It's really good at picking the absolute worst font, which I think is amusing.
Yeah.
There's no way that's the intended font. I love it. All right, so click and hold to aim. Hold longer for more power. I am already loving this. Any game that involves an arc, like a trajectory, I just immediately get excited by it. So let's let go. Oops. I used a lot of power to hit a brick block instead of my opponent. And then I did it again. Okay, let me try to do this for real. Very cool. Okay, level 1 complete. Level 2. I see. So the whole game is basically just aiming at these kind of opponent guys. Oh, and I can destroy platforms, make them fall. I'm actually curious if that was intended to be victory because I didn't kill that second guy, but I get the gist. The TNT barrels are cool also. So the only thing missing, and I'm assuming this because this game is in the works, I'm guessing, is that nobody's fighting back. So is it safe to say that that's on the way? Oh, wow, look at that. There's stuff falling. Oh,
They
no.
are fighting back. Only the first levels were like they are not attacking. So that the player has that win feeling.
I see. They are fighting back. I guess they're fighting back pretty slowly though. Is that? Would you agree? Like I can basically knock these guys out before they've really had a chance to shoot at me. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe you know what? Okay, how about this? I think the biggest thing missing, from my opinion, is that when they attack, I don't really notice it. I see the particle kind of moving towards me, but a little bit more life from the actual character avatar. Maybe they hop around or something like that. I think would help because it's good that they're attacking me, but it's just not really. It's not really registering visually. But I love this arc kind of game mechanic. This is just very fun. It's like there's the slightest bit of strategy, but it feels like action, which is a fun combination because it's not totally mindless, but it doesn't feel complicated. It feels very easy to play.
Yep, that was the intention here.
Yeah, I like this. I wonder, this is interesting, and this really is a question. I always want to be clear. I try not to ask rhetorical questions. I think if something is good or bad, I'll just say so. But if it's a question, I'm honestly just curious. You've got this interesting approach where holding the button down or tapping or holding the mouse button down or whatever will cause your trajectory to kind of rise up, right? So instead of just going wherever you tap or drag, and it kind of does, but it takes a second to kind of lift up. Was that an intentional choice? Because I feel like it's a little bit different than what I'm used to, but there's something kind of unique about it.
It wasn't intentional. The game really just gave this version, and I was like, "Yeah, that looks cool." I didn't see such thing before, so I was like, "I'm going to roll with it."
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like it's a little bit different. I haven't really seen this, but it kind of works. It gives the game this kind of interesting rhythm where I kind of know that it's going to take a half second to get where I want it, so I have to take that into account. Yeah, it's cool. So there's the biggest thing I would advise, other than you know what, the font's growing on me. I say use it. I'm just kidding. No, it's not growing on me. The biggest thing I would suggest is it'd be great to see more movement from the enemies, because I feel like if I don't stop to kind of pay attention to that little orange dot, I can't really even see that they're shooting at me. Also, it seems like their accuracy isn't great. Like, I think that's the first shot I remember being hit by. And the only issue with that is it just means the challenge is relatively low. Like, the style of gameplay is fun, but it feels a little bit too easy. So if it were a little bit more challenging, I think the pressure would be on me to like go after the guys faster. Also, I'm noticing the knights with the armor turn into the guys in the red suits. Is that intentional? Like, they level down, I guess?
Yep. They need 2 hits, and the armor breaks that way.
Right. Got it. That makes sense. Cool. What do you think about this? So those are my kind of off the top of my head thoughts. How are you feeling about the game itself at this point?
I just published it, and it did kind of really well, and the font one surprised me because I just tested it again right now, and the font did load for me, so I need to fix that one. And the attack is, yeah, that would be a nice thing to add. I mean, the highlight.
Right. And you said the game's already performing about where you want?
It did really well before. It's almost at 30K plays, and it has a 1 minute 27.
Whoa.
Median.
That's great. That's amazing. Good job. Yeah. So, I mean, I would encourage these little refinements just to kind of make the game look and feel a little more polished. But clearly, in terms of actual gameplay, you've already got it dialed in. So, according to the data, you've killed it. Good job.
Yep. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. All right. I'll play another one. Then how about maybe after that, Manvi, you want to play something?
Can I just give a commentary?
Let's start with that.
I'm so lazy today, but sure, I can play like a couple.
So first of all, Pika, is this a sequel already to your game that is, by the way, killing it? Pika's, okay, doesn't slow down. He's working on Not 99 Nights in Farm 2. The first one is excellent. If you haven't played it, check it out. And also doing very well. So let's see what the sequel looks like. All right off the bat, we've got a huge visual upgrade. This is, I think, the biggest thing I was missing in the last one. The whole game looks really good. It plays really well. It just looks kind of plain. And now we've got this really cool backdrop, which completes the scene really nicely. Now, as far as tutorials go, we were just talking about keeping tutorials simple. I think this game's a really good example of doing just that. Notice there's basically one thing I'm being asked to do, and I'm being asked in a really it's one half sentence. Drag the blade to harvest crops, and I mean that's basically it. So that's awesome. If you can get your users onboarded that quickly, then I mean you're in good shape. So far the game. Isn't it awesome? I don't know if you played this, but it looks great and it plays really well too. And once you start growing plants, this whole buzzsaw thing where you pick it up and it spins, and you cut the plants out of the farm is so fun.
Very fun.
One thing I wonder if I'm doing differently, Pika, let me know. Am I manually selling things now? I feel like I wasn't doing that last time. Maybe I was. I'm just misremembering. And I guess I need to just do this more. I also thought that I gained money a little bit more quickly. It was manual. Okay. Well. Ooh, look at this. We've got these little like bonuses or something. I can finally expand. So basically the way the game works is you've got this kind of radial watering apparatus, and you've got these circular plots, and you plant seeds, and as it just automatically makes them grow, you can trim them with a buzzsaw, like a traditional farmer, and then sell the results. So in a lot of ways, it's like a standard farming game, but it's got this collection where you have this very satisfying buzzsaw thing that you use to get the vegetables, and then there's just this kind of spinning rhythm, which I guess really doesn't change anything because a lot of these games are basically about automatically being watered. It looks visually different, but that visual really changes the feel of the game a lot in a way that I think adds a lot too. And while we're at it, I'm not giving anybody their musical moment, so let's see how the audio sounds. Ooh, very, very fun. So not only do we get...
Yeah, I can hear the audio.
Oh, great. See, this is the value of audio, people. Not only do we get this great sound of chopping off the vegetables, but we get this really fun little percolating noise when the plots are being watered. I wonder, I don't want to mess with a game that's already in such good shape, but would it be kind of cool if the moment I pick up the buzzsaw, there's like a zzz kind of sound? Maybe something to think about. But this game looks so legit. Really small details that everyone should kind of take note of. Speaking of fonts, Pika's done a really good job of choosing typefaces that just feel like, kind of polished game fonts. Like this font is very legible, but it's got this cool personality to it. And then it's combined with these great little graphical flourishes. Like everything's got like a thick, chunky colored outline and these subtle little textures like the wood texture in the leaderboard and this nice backdrop. Like this backdrop could have been some detailed photorealistic thing, which would have been the wrong style, but it's got this cool flat kind of illustration style that matches the rest of the game. So you look at the thing as a whole and it just feels super polished. This looks like I got this off an app store or something. So not only is it a well-playing game, but it really looks very premium. Okay, Pika, you can just take credit for it. Don't tell people the AI did it. Just say this was all me. I brainstormed everything from scratch. Oh, but in all seriousness, what is great about this is when you get your game set up right and the AI manually, or just when the AI automatically extends that visual style, then it does make you look better. So I kid with Pika because he should take more credit, but it is true that if you play your cards right, Astra will keep your game looking very consistent. I think the biggest trick to avoid messing up Astra doing that is just try not to ask for things that look wildly different, right? So if you really wanted it, you could tell Astra, give me like a cyberpunk background or something, which would of course be stupid. So as long as you don't throw too many curveballs at it, it will usually do a pretty good job of keeping your style going consistently. Pika, so the game looks awesome. And I love it. I love it like I love the first one. And I'm noticing a bunch of little improvements throughout the game. Do you want to share just some overviews of what your goals are for part 2 now that number 1 is done? Let's see. I haven't upgraded anything. Okay, I'll do this. I have upgraded the sprinkler. That much is true. What else can I upgrade? Add any crop tool through. Okay, one. Oh, wait. I can do that. I can update the plants in the sprinkler. Oh, look at that. Yes, I can level up the seeds. All right, I want a level 2 pumpkin. And I want a level 2 cabbage, lettuce. Yes, I agree with Jaeger. It's just the polish in this game is just really, really impressive. All right,
the sounds are really good. I really like the way the sounds are. I don't know how you generate those, or if they're just automatic, but it's really cool with the sounds because it sounds like it literally sounds like one of those old bubble shooters. If you get my drift.
Yeah. So great question, Pika. What do you think? Where did these sound effects come from? Because they're so good. Really, these are all AI generated. These are amazing. Well, there you go. The AI will help you out with good sounds. Pika, do you have any other tips? You said the AI kind of did it, but for people that want their game to look like this, I mean, there's so much going on visually, but it's so nicely done. You've got the textures, you've got the really good font choice, the really good, boundaries around buttons and windows and all that. Any thoughts on that? Is that something you did consciously, or like, in other words, are there tips you can offer people that like that look? Yeah, although just to be clear, everybody, I'm always usually the last to notice things in games because, as I say all the time, I am terrible at doing commentary and gameplay at the same time. So this is why I rely on you guys to point out the obvious for me. But, as I always say also, my total inability to pay attention means I'm great at beta testing because I am your worst case scenario for user awareness. If I don't notice something, a lot of other dimwits won't notice it either. There are dozens of us. Wow, where did this come from, Pika? This is very ambitious. So Pika has just
Someone's
pasted
not talking.
what looks like a huge, very detailed prompt for sort of styling in the game. And I'm getting a sense of like, where did the details come from? Pika, is this something you generated and then used for the wishes? I'm assuming this is not all just written manually, right? Oh, I get it. Okay, got it. So yeah, check out the chat, everyone. There's a lot of really good tips here of what you can do to improve the look and feel of your game. Yes, I agree. There's no need for this holster for the shield, but I'm so glad, or shield for the saw. But even this little, look at this, these little vents. Like it's so detailed. Yes, I think the moment Pika shared that high quality, it was available for borrowing. Although I would make some changes to it. Like I think the structure is great, but maybe do an AI pass over it to kind of put your own style on it. Okay, well, thanks, Pika. This is an inspiration. We should all be shooting for, I think, this level of quality and clarity. It's both a beautiful looking game and it's really easy to get into. And I think you've done a good job of adding features without distracting from the core gameplay. I can still basically just do this, which is super fun. But I've also got all these new upgrades and new little touches. The little moving butterflies are great too. That is just so good. So good. Ladybugs in the corner. Yeah, this is awesome, people. Pika has indeed leveled up. He's over 9,000 with this game. All right, Wasteland Rampage. Let's go. Let's go. Another roller coaster tone shift. We're going from a cozy farming sim, although it's cozy with buzzsaws, which I guess is kind of a contradiction, to Mad Max. Let's check out Wasteland Rampage from Jaeger. All right, I can already tell this game's gonna have great audio, which is why I'm gonna mute it because it's hard to do commentary with audio, but maybe I'll turn it back on in a second. Okay, so this is awesome. This is like a kind of an off-roader dune buggy kind of thing in a craggy wasteland where I'm running over zombies, and I know there's like weapon upgrades, and I'm being chased, so I guess there are rival factions. You know what I love about this? This is a great example of the kind of game where, let me just restart this to confirm, there is no onboarding because you just start running over zombies and it's like, what more do you need to know, right? So I think whenever you can get away with this, like literally no tutorial, I'd say go for it. I mean, weapon is marked as weapon. It was pretty clear that was a power up to go collect. I don't necessarily, oh, look at that. Nice explosion. Really, really nicely done. Lots of juice. You get this automatic kind of tail gunner upgrade. I've got fuel cells. I can grab those. I've got little arrows pointing me in the direction of I guess it's a boss or a mini boss or something. All right, so I ate it on that one, but that's awesome. Really, really, really nicely done. And yeah, exactly. It really has his vibe, doesn't it? But again, let me just restart this for everybody. Let's assume this game downloads reasonably quickly. That's a whole separate question. But assuming the download doesn't take too long, I hit the start button and I'm in. Like that's almost as simple as it gets. There's almost no way to improve that onboarding experience. So one of the biggest reasons why games don't perform well is that even if your game is amazing, you haven't got a complete stranger that's never seen it before to like buy in the first 5 or 10 seconds. I think this game absolutely avoids that problem. I'm collecting like new power-ups I didn't even know existed, and it's fine. I don't need to be told. I'll just figure it out. I see buzzsaws spinning around. By the way, there's a theme today. Today's buzzsaw day. I see buzzsaws spinning around my my off-roader, and it's like I don't need an explanation. I just know to drive into stuff and put it to use. Wow, there's so much depth in this game. Look at all these different weapon power-ups. Yeah, this is great. There's so little to even think about critiquing about this. I think the only thing you might do, and I don't even have anything in mind, it's somewhere to look, is because this game does have a lot of movement and a lot of, whoa, sorry, I got to interrupt what I was saying. Have I been reincarnated as a zombie? Like when you die, do you become the bad guy? Is that what's going on here? Oh no, I have to get back to my car. This is so cool. All right. So look, this game is insane. Like that whole kind of dying and rebirth mechanism, I don't think I've ever seen that exactly quite like that. And again, didn't need an explanation. I figured it out pretty much from just trial and error. Wow. All right. Anyway, what I was going to say was there's so much like movement and physics in this game. There's like the speed of the car. There's how quickly it spins. It almost does a kind of a fun fishtailing if I turn too fast. And because of that, even though I think that's all great, and I personally like it, if you do playtesting, you may find that, I don't know, 3 out of 4 players think it's too fast or too slow or too this or too that. And so I can imagine this kind of game would benefit a lot from some just general kind of tuning based on player feedback. But that's really it. That's not even so much something to work on. It's just something to think about. It's something to be aware of. If you're making like a match 3, you probably don't have to worry about that because the match 3 game mechanic is so simple. But a game like this is very nuanced. So you can imagine different opinions will probably help you tune it. But yeah, other than that, I mean, this is phenomenal. This is so cool. Sorry, Belittle, you're saying game testers don't allow trial and error, always nag about controls not being shown so players can't play the game. Well, when I say trial and error, I mostly mean that's the kind of the trial and error that happens over time. Like you make a change to your game and see how the performance changes. Trial and error is not necessarily something you do in response to one person's feedback. The idea is to collect aggregate feedback. So if you play it with 3 people, if all 3 of those opinions line up, great. If all 3 opinions are totally different, then it means something else. It means there's not one obvious change to make.
Alex, how do you find the pacing and the movement controls in the game?
So I mostly find it great. So here's an example of my one person's opinion. One thing I love about it is it's super responsive. There's no sense of like lag or disconnect or anything. And I also noticed that the game, or I shouldn't say notice, it's very obvious, but I realized that the game is set in this kind of crazy, chaotic environment. So I'm not expecting like a gentle, soothing kind of game feel, right? But as I'm playing it, if there's one thing that maybe isn't perfect, just again, my opinion, is it does feel like I maybe turn, I'm trying to find the words for it. I wonder if I turn a little bit too aggressively to the point where I feel like I'm always kind of oversteering. Now, the reason I say this so cautiously is because sometimes it's hard to put your thoughts into words just because, you know, you're playing at the same time, half your brain is dedicated to thinking about the game. So I may not be articulating it right, and I don't want to give you like red herring feedback. But the other reason I say that is because sometimes when a game feels a little bit challenging, that's part of the fun of it, right? So in other words, if I dialed this in to be a little bit more responsive to my taste, would it actually make the game maybe a little bit too easy, right? So anyway, a lot of grain of salt. I think overall you've dialed this in really well. Something to maybe play around with is just the degree to which the car turns.
So you're saying you'd like it a little bit tighter? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, exactly. I think that's a good way to describe it. But I say that as more of like a question rather than like a request, because one thing I really do like about the way it's balanced now is that the fact that it isn't precise the way I want it makes the game a little bit more crazy. It gives the game some chaos that I enjoy. So like imagine if you're playing a game where there's like, you know, ice that you can skid on. the ice is maybe a hazard, but there's also something fun about skidding, right? So sometimes challenge is actually part of the fun of the game. So I would definitely say that it's worth experimenting with kind of the tightness of the turning, but I don't necessarily know that I actually want to change it. I think it might just be interesting to explore alternatives. How has your playtesting gone? Has anyone else played it? What's their feedback been?
No, actually, you played it, I think, when I very first started in Discord about a month ago. And then I've just been kind of modding it ever since. So you're only the second person that's played it, really. And the first person was you.
Now that I think about it, this does look familiar, but I think it's changed a lot, right? This feels definitely different than I remember.
Yeah, it's getting updated in the background on top of some other projects. But yeah, playtesting is definitely something that has to be done. I
even love that you've got the kind of offset drop shadow look. Gives it that kind of sun-baked desert kind of vibe. This is so cool. All right, well, how do you feel about it? Anywhere you want to go next with the game?
As of right now, I think it's good the way it is. I was wondering if I should add some sort of a progressive unlock system with the stuff that you're collecting. What are your thoughts on that?
So the two key kind of game design concepts are always like the core loop and the meta loop. I'd say core loop, you've got this thing dialed. Like basically core loop for everyone listening, moment to moment. Like what am I doing from one moment to the next? And in this game, it's I'm skidding around, I'm bumping into stuff, I'm shooting guys, I'm collecting stuff. That's like the core loop. And it's really, really nice. It just looks good, it feels good, it's fun. The meta loop is more like, what am I doing over time? What is the point of the core loop, right? So if I'm running around and killing guys and collecting stuff, the big question is like, why? Where is it all going? Are there multiple levels? Am I trying to unlock something? So that's a very long way of saying that, yeah, I think what this game would really benefit from, and it may already be there, I'm not playing deeply enough to know, is give me something to kind of strive for. So I'm going to get good, hopefully, of like running around this desert wasteland, knocking out zombies. What does that skill earn me? If I kind of master this game, is the benefit, do I unlock new levels? Do I unlock new weapons? It could be a combination of both. So for one thing is we've got this desert backdrop and it looks really good. It matches the vibe. But if I play this for a couple minutes, at a certain point, I'm probably going to want to see some variety. So can we expect I don't know, like multiple levels, multiple background environments? What do you think about that?
What makes the most sense to you as a player? Like, what are you thinking now as you're playing it? Is it the backdrop thing, or is there something else that you like to see?
Well, I guess because there's so much movement in the game, it's like I can just the game feels really open-ended, which is also fun. I love games where I just feel kind of free to move around. It does make me think, if I'm in this big world, then should there be more to the world that I can discover? Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of why I think after a few minutes, I would definitely want to see something a little bit different. Because I spend so much time driving over this terrain. It'd be kind of nice if the terrain evolves along with the game. So that's something to think about. The other thing, though, is you've already got so many weapons. I wonder do you necessarily want to unlock more stuff, or could it be more like take the weapons you've already got, because you've clearly put a lot of work into them, and maybe distribute them more over time? Like I can only get one power up at first. There's always one, whatever that first kind of tail gun or machine gun thing was. That's like the first one I get. And then maybe I have to run over 100 zombies or something before I unlock the next one. Because I feel like the content is not your problem. You have a lot of content. But what might be nice is if it felt like it took more exploration or more effort on my part to unlock all of it. Because I feel like I'm getting it, like you're kind of giving it away from me almost too easily, maybe. Does that make sense?
Do you feel like having side quests would be a kind of like an achievement-based kind of thing would be fitting for a game like this, or is it more just action-based and it wouldn't fit the type of style that it is?
I mean, it depends on what side quest means. I feel like what's great about the game is that I have to put almost no thought into it. I mean, I really mean, like, that to me is like the nirvana state of all these games. If you can just sort of play it without even thinking about it, you're in good shape. And when I think side quests, it makes me wonder, do I now have to start thinking more strategically? Like, do I accept the side quest? Do I not? So I almost wonder if whatever you mean by side quest, would it be better if it were just all linear? So after I say, I don't know, whatever, maybe this level has an objective. If I accomplish that objective, whatever the side quest was going to be, maybe that's just level 2. So it's all the same content, but just make it super simple where I am just linearly going through everything. And all I have to do is focus on running people over instead of thinking about where am I in a quest tree or something,
Yeah, that makes more sense for the type of game that it is. I think having an objective to get to or something might kind of kill the vibe, because it's pretty much just fast-paced action. But that's basically the brainstorming part that I'm at with the game right now. I think I'm going to release it as is, and then kind of monitor play times and stats and stuff, and
No, that's
see
a great idea.
what direction would be good to take it if we need to extend play times or if we need more content type stuff.
That's exactly right. You may have seen the game. I don't know if you were here last week. Monvi played a game that I was working on, the kind of the potion merging game. And I'm in a similar place, which is I feel like the core loop is kind of working. I like the way it looks and all that. But what I still haven't really figured out, I haven't had time really, but what is the objective of the game? What exactly is the player focusing on? And so one thought I had is I might just release the game, see how it performs. And if it doesn't perform the way I want, I'll just change the objective and re-release it. Right? I mean, there's no limit on that, guys. So if a game comes out and you're not happy with the way it performed, and maybe even dropped off the feed entirely, you don't have to give up on it, but you might want to think about maybe retooling the objective or kind of aspects like that and then trying again. Because rather than trying to figure it all out in advance, even playtesting may not answer the question. Publish it and see how people react. There's no harm in just trying again a week later with a new version of the same game. So yeah, I think it takes more time, but it is, I think, in the long run, easier and more authentic to just let the wisdom of the crowd help you decide what to do with objective. I feel like either way, you can't really go wrong because the game is really fun in terms of the core loop. So put it out there, see if people agree, and then you can experiment with the meta loop. But really, really cool. I'm very excited to see how this game performs once it's up.
Yeah, thanks for the brainstorm, Alex, and everybody in chat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to, and thanks for sharing. All right, next up is Creative Guy's Trade Up, which appears to be based on this old kind of fable about like taking something very low value, trading it for something slightly higher value, and then working your way up to like a mansion, which I think someone did in real life. I remember reading about someone who actually did this once. All right, Creative Guy, let's check out your game. First of all, just starting this from scratch, I love the look of this. This is very cool. The little title thing up here and all that, it's just got a very premium look. So right off the bat, nicely done, Creative Guy. So my current item is a paperclip. Now I kind of know the little story this game is based on, so maybe I'm not the most objective reviewer, but I'm guessing the idea is I need to trade up, but I have to trade up within a certain range. Like I can't trade my paperclip for a Lamborghini, but maybe I can trade my paperclip for a button? Because even a potted plant might be too much. Let's see. Okay. That seemed to work. Now, I'm guessing I can trade this for a rubber band, but what happens if I try trading it for sunglasses? Huh. Okay, I guess that does work. Okay. All right. I'm just trading up like crazy. Never mind. No limits. I don't want a scented candle. I'll take headphones. Surfboard looks better. Arcade machine looks way better. Gaming PC probably, especially with RAM prices these days. Hot tub maybe? Private jet for sure. Mansion. Castle, of course, even better. Private island. Let's just keep going. I think I'm at the top. Okay. Creative Guy, I have I have reached a €1 million €1 million private island. I'm not exactly sure where to go from here. I see. So you're agreeing then the experience I had is not quite right. It was a little too easy to go from paperclip to private island. Inspiring, don't get me wrong, but maybe a little bit too easy. Yeah. So in other words, if we've got some constraints, and I think I'm saying the obvious. I'm sure this is what you're already working on. But if there are some constraints that govern what I can trade for, especially though, because I liked when I first started. Let me go back to the beginning of the game. I liked how it wasn't clear what the rules were. I actually kind of preferred that because I tried. Like I can see myself trading a paperclip for a glass marble. I feel like that would work, right? And I can see maybe trading the marble for a ballpoint pen, but I don't think I should be allowed to trade a marble for a leather wallet. And so if I try doing that, it'd be kind of cool if that cost me something. Like if there's a little bit of, I have to guess the right thing that's the right value and I can't get too greedy. That might be kind of a fun thing. So I think that's where I can see that going next. But yes, in the meantime, it is speedrun. Let's speedrun it, in fact. Okay, rubber duck, got it. Coffee mug, got it. Picture frame. Bluetooth, camera drone, treadmill, mountain bike, arcade, designer bag for sure, hot tub, come on, private island, gold bar, yes, helicopter, awesome, private island, I did it. All right, okay. I wish you could speed run this kind of thing in real life. That'd be fun. Okay, cool concept though, creative guy. It's a really, really original idea. I think if you just throw in some constraints, this will be in good shape. I'm going to keep my hope alive that one of these days Monvi actually plays a game, but until then, I'm going
I was going to say, I don't mind playing the next one.
Okay, play the next one. Let's do it. Put your money where your mouth is.
My God. Okay. What is the next one?
See?
Okay. No, I got it. It's news. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Let me share my screen. And we shall start playing. Cool. Chill Honey Farm. Okay. What do I do? The eggs? Oh, okay. That's so many bees.
They're very cute bees.
Okay, what do I do? Do I buy this? I'm trying to click this. Okay, wait. Am I not getting this? Okay, upgrade costs. Okay, so this is filling up honey. I'm very confused right now. But also like, I don't think I'm getting it. Okay, am I harvesting honey? Yeah, I love that they have names. That's really cute. And there's a queen bee here. Oh. Noble Tyler. Okay.
I wonder if Tyler is a common bee name. I feel like it's probably not, right?
No, maybe not. Okay.
Zachary, though, that's for sure a bee name. There are a lot of Zachary bees out there, I bet.
Really?
I think this game looks great. I'm following Monvi playing along, and I think I share her opinion that if I were playing this, I would probably also be a little bit confused. Even though I love the look, I love the concept, and I can imagine this game making sense, but I feel like something is missing currently.
Yeah, I feel like there's the structure of it is a bit, it's not like super clear. Like here it's asking me to like do some action, so I'm trying to click it, but I'm not really doing any action. But so if I click anything, I see. So when I click Noah costs this much, but I don't have that much. Oh, okay. So I need to wait. Okay, I'm gonna put more flowers so there's more honey. So I'm guessing this is like a honey harvesting thing. But not gonna lie, if I didn't understand this in the first 10 seconds, maybe even 5, I feel like I wouldn't really engage with this too much.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give this a little bit more time. Let's see what Ryan is up to. Okay.
Ryan the bee.
Ryan the bee. Okay, they all cost 250. Is there a reason for that?
I mean, they're all drones. They're all the same, right? Other than their hilarious
Oh.
name. Ooh, elite.
Jeez. Okay, so I think I got the concept. I think it's not about the buttons being big. It's about like a structure. So first structure would be lay eggs. Second structure would be watch it like make some honey and harvest it. Then you start like making it like more bees, more cells, more this. So but the first like 5 minutes should be like first 5 seconds should be a very simple game loop. I need to understand what to do in that 5 seconds. Do you agree with me or not, Alex?
I think that's really, really well said. I think that you've hit on exactly what I think is missing here. So a couple things that are kind of just at this point textbook Astro Academy. Astro Academy scripture. I think even doctrine isn't lofty enough. I'm going to call it scripture from now on. Everyone bear with me. I'm entering my cult leader phase. But I think that one of the most important things that comes out of Astro Academy, and we didn't invent this, guys, this is just standard game design kind of wisdom, is basically what Monvi is saying, which is starting off with first of all, especially for a game like this, we call it the guaranteed win. Like, give the player something they can do immediately that is productive, that makes the game work, but that makes them feel like they did something right. Like if it's placing a honeycomb, or if it's buying a single egg or laying a single egg, something that I'm immediately able to do without any friction or confusion, and then building on that. So, which is also, I think, what you were saying, Monvi, which is don't just dump me into the whole game, kind of take me step by step, figuring out each individual piece in a way that's kind of impossible to mess up. And then when you get through all that, and that should only take hopefully 20, 30 seconds, then the player knows how to play the game. They've done a few things right, and they're now just applying what they've learned as the game loop continues. So judging by what I'm seeing, it looks so good. It's such a cool concept. And the characters are really cute. It's got a great personality. I think all it needs is to guide the player through those steps in a way where they just feel like they cannot lose for the first 20 seconds. They got it. Step 1 done, step 2 done, step 3 done, and then you're in. Now the game is just some combination of those 3 things, or however many things.
I agree. And also I think like some of these could kind of be inbuilt into the game. For example, for build cell, maybe if I hover over here, there'll be like, like a dot, dot, dot with a plus. So I can just click on it and it appears. Maybe something like that.
Cool.
Cool. Should I go to the next game?
Actually, I am going to play the next game because I've played it before.
No,
Actually, no,
I played it before. Then you shouldn't play.
Okay, you play it because I have played it before. I just wanted to give it a victory lap. I think it's a great game. I wasn't going to say anything critical, but you do it, Monty, because I think if you haven't played this game, it'd be great to get your unbiased take, even though I've already biased you by saying how great it is.
That's true. You have. Okay. Voxel Hopper. Press. Okay, that's simple enough. Cool. Bam, 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 bam. I love the effect of the chicken just chickening. Can I go side? Oh, I could. Ow! Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. I got that. Okay. No, what? 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 Was there like some other plank or something that I was supposed to go on? Okay. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to get the coins. Easy enough. Okay, this is tough. What the heck?
A plane just went by. Oh,
Dude,
don't.
no, that's
Too long.
illegal.
Oh, you can't. I didn't even know that. You can't just sit there for too long. Wow.
Okay. Hold up.
Oh,
This is
also,
tough.
but wait. I just realized this game randomly generates the level every time. How cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
What the heck? No. Okay, you have to make it a little less tough in the
All right.
first
Yeah.
second.
I'm torn because I'm so amused by watching Monvi lose, but I do agree this seems like it's not tuned quite right.
No, what was I supposed to do? It's not that hard. Come on, high quality. Don't do this to me right now.
It's not that hard.
Oh my God. Oh. You saw that?
Sorry, your
Okay,
screen
okay.
share dropped out just.
Okay, there's gonna be a second.
Notice that the lights flash on the railroad. Oh my God, you can ride the truck?
No, I couldn't.
Oh,
I
you got
could
flash.
ride.
It looked like you were
Yeah,
riding.
So I could ride the ones in the water, but
Oh
not
my
on the
God.
road.
I know
looks like.
Monvi will do anything to avoid jumping on these logs.
That is true.
She will literally jump into a moving truck before she'll
You
jump
saw
on the
that?
road.
Just
Yeah, you
that's
did. I saw it. Good job.
Thank you. Come on.
This game, sorry, I'm just gonna gush over this game. It looks so good. It plays so well. Maybe it could be a little bit easier, at least, especially for like a first time user. But it's just so good. It's phenomenal.
It's really good. It feels really good. No, mother. Ah! Okay. I just
Well,
think if it's like a little easier in the beginning and it gets tougher, I would have loved it.
Well, okay, no, we have a choice to make here. I want everyone to think hard about this. Either we make the game easier, which benefits the game, or make the game even harder, but Monvi starts Twitch streaming just this game. I could see this would blow up. Within 24 hours, you'd have millions of followers.
Well, don't answer that, everyone.
Food for thought. It's just food for thought.
This is great, though. I really love it. I love
What kind of game is this, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, you should ask Be Little.
Yeah, actually, Be Little, do you have a I'll read it to the chat, but do you have a Be Little, do you have like a summary? How would you describe your game? What? You're a horse?
I'm a horse.
I like how even as a horse you're still just hopping.
That's true.
I think
I got squished.
with taxonomy, this game for us would fall under arcade, which is a broad kind of label of games where you just want to get a high score and there's a simple mechanic and it's pretty fast paced and quick. And yeah, there's often not a more precise genre for these kinds of games.
It's actually, other than being in 3D, it's almost identical to an old classic arcade game called Frogger. So anyone that knows the game Frogger would know that it's a Frogger style game. But from this point on, I'm going to call this a horse hopping game. I think that's the best description. How would you feel about that?
Hopping game, if you want to be more general, it's not just horses.
It's not just horse hopping, but I feel like horse hopping is really the takeaway from me. This is so good, though. Great job, Be Little. Oh, sorry, Monvi, go ahead.
I just wish like there was maybe like a small power up that would make me go a little faster.
Hmm.
Or like some just power ups that I could maybe fly over a couple stuff. So
a really good power up, even if it only lasted like 5 seconds, it just freezes everything. So the truck stopped moving. Oh,
right.
Wow, look at that.
Okay.
Well, it looks like somebody has already taken the trouble of copying footage of the game while Monvi played, running it through an AI video enhancement thing, and then posting an animated GIF of it. Well done, high quality.
Really?
Yeah, check out the chat.
That's crazy. Wait, what?
No, I'm kidding. It's Crossy Road. Yeah. Okay, so Monvi, do you want to play the next game or should I?
I can play it, but then after this, you can play it.
All right, go for it.
Okay, high quality. Oh my god, high quality. You're gonna freaking brutally, I don't know, disown me for playing your game bad.
You can just tell just looking at the thumbnail already.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I think I'm not gonna do justice to this one, but you know what? Whatever.
Excellent. Ooh, this is cool. So it's like a Hot Wheels kind of plastic racer.
Oh. I'm getting a little motion sick. Oh.
Okay, the concept of this looks awesome. Just judging by watching Monvi play, I feel like this game is not quite complete.
Whoa. Wait, what the heck? Did I do?
Yeah, I think we've got some issues here. This is a great idea for a game, but I feel like it needs a little. Oh wait, sorry. High quality. Is this not what you expected? Is this not performing as intended? Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of glitching. It looks like Collision in general has some issues.
Yeah, it's a little glitchy for sure. Oh. And also the boosting is not really boosting. You know?
Yeah.
Boosting ain't boosting. And oh. Yeah, it's pretty glitchy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a super cool concept, but I think it needs a little bit more time in development. But I think it's worth.
There's boosting, but it's not really boosting. I'm literally trying to boost. It ain't boosted. Yeah. But I really like the concept. I think there's so much you can do with this. Play with the physics a little bit. Like maybe like send it, make it do this roller coaster thing, and then it goes and smashes into something. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think if the glitches get ironed out, you can just tell from looking at it, this would be a very fun game.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, why don't I take over for the next one?
Thank God.
All right. I am going to play this game from Cash called 911 Operator. For all of our non-American attendees, 911 means emergency. I think that's pretty well known. Okay, 911 emergency dispatch. Read emergency text, dispatch the correct service. 3 wrong calls equals off duty. Okay. I'm going to hold out. I'm going to withhold judgment a little bit because I always advise against kind of text up front to explain a game, but let's see how this game goes first. Simple enough. My dad is having chest pains and can't breathe. He's clutching his chest and sweating. Please send help. Okay, well, I think I'm going to send an ambulance for that. Correct. Someone just broke into my neighbor's house. I can see them through the window carrying things out. Uh-oh. Although, I can respond. I wonder why I should respond. I wonder if I can ask a question. Oops. Oh, wow. Wait, can I not? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I get it. So I can't really type, but I can send these kind of like pre-written kind of Uber-style text messages. Okay. Is this an emergency, though? They've already told me. Yes, it's an emergency. Yeah, but are you safe? I just want to make sure you're safe. I'm trying to stay calm. Okay, but can you just confirm this is an emergency? It's an emergency. Okay, we've confirmed it's an emergency. I'm just going to just be doubly sure. I'm going to ask one more time. Okay, this is definitely an emergency. She fell downstairs. Okay, I think it's an ambulance thing again. All right. Anyway, all kidding aside, the concept is pretty straightforward. Honestly, I don't even know if you need that tutorial. I think people would figure this out. I also wonder, do we need maybe this game's going to be developed. Do we need this idea of follow-up kind of messages or questions? Because I feel like the input from the input from the caller is generally enough to kind of tell what I need to do. So I wonder if there's a way to make this either more difficult, like maybe the person sends me kind of an incomplete text and I have no choice but to ask a follow-up question. That might be kind of cool. And then in the cases where it's obvious, then it's my job, of course, to dispatch as soon as possible. I also feel like if it's not already here, a time limit would be good. I mean, obviously the whole point of emergency dispatch is to work as fast as possible. So a time limit would be great, especially when the person does send me these kind of incomplete texts where I have to follow up because then I'm doing so against the clock, which would be kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really interesting idea. I think my first thoughts are time limit and give me more reason to use these follow-up things. And I would probably get rid of this because that just seems confusing and it looks like the keyboard automatically triggers these buttons. Yeah, this would not be my my main skill in life. I think I would probably do a lot of damage. I would mean well, but I would send
I could not either.
Yeah, this is something for only certain people, certain special people that can do this in real life. The rest of us can do this on Astrocade. Anyway, okay, so great concept, but yeah, I would just work on adding a little bit of detail and challenge to the main game loop. All right, next game is Undead Gauntlet from creator Jonathan Doe. All right, I say it all the time. You guys know what I'm going to say. Please don't do a wall of text tutorial. I also generally think this is not needed in the first step. I'm just going to do normal. But it's not the end of the world. It's my suggestion not to have things like difficulty settings up front, but it's still ultimately your game, and plenty of games have done it successfully. Okay, so it seems to be so far kind of maybe it's a zombie survival game. I say maybe because the zombies are at least at first, they were relatively sparse. Now they're picking up. I'm getting more of them. I guess I tap to attack. I'd say, okay, my initial feedback is it's definitely in need of some polish, which normally I wouldn't say takes precedence over the basic game mechanic, but in this case, it's kind of interfering with my ability to play a little bit. So the first thing is that it's unless I'm doing this wrong, it's relatively hard to attack. In fact, I'm going to go back to that wall of text to confirm I got it right. Move, yeah, attack, press attack button or mouse button 1. Yeah, so it's pretty much what I thought, but it's just a little bit, like, first of all, the animation is, I understand that animation can be tricky on Astrocade, but seeing him just kind of raise the bat doesn't really send me a clear message that I've actually swung the bat. So my sense of kind of visual feedback is a little bit limited. But I can tell from trying it that this is an attack, even though it doesn't really look like one. I'm also moving in this very abrupt way. Notice every time I tap to attack, I shift up a tile. That doesn't seem intentional. It's a little bit confusing. So little things like that. I just want the attack motion, whatever it is, to be a little bit more obvious. I'd like it to be a little bit faster because I feel like there's like a slight lag after I tap. And this moving thing is weird. So I think with those things fixed, it would be easier to to play the game enough to even just offer some basic feedback. So I think sometimes games are in a position where it's still kind of premature to offer real feedback. I think the game core mechanic has to be cleaned up, and then we can evaluate the game more fully. But right now, I think you just got to clean up this attack system. The rest of it, I think, could be good, though. I mean, zombie survival games are always great. The characters look pretty good. It's very fluid. I have no issues with the game's overall speed. So that's all a good foundation. I would just I would simplify that intro, and I would make attacks better. Okay, cool. Next, let's play Erica Zucker's latest. This is called Heroes Ascent. Okie dokie. I like the gist of it. I like these kind of first-person pixel art RPG kind of games. These are very cool. But I'll just be totally candid. My first impression of this game is there's a lot to take in. And I feel like even if I restart it, just go back to basics, the very first state of the game screen is really complex.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, so let's see, tap to attack. Okay, so the game is like a tapping-based attacker thing. That's great. I mean, these games are always really cool because they're easy to play, they're fun, although it says not very effective. I wonder if I should upgrade.
Yeah, I think it's so I gave it it's incremental, but I guess since it has environmental issues, like I guess it's not effective since your sword isn't strong enough, so I gotta figure that out.
Okay. Well, here's what I would recommend, is the idea of like a first-person tapping RPG combat game. That's great. So I think the concept is really good. But if you're going to have all this stuff, right? I mean, there's so many options. And, I mean, the first question is, do you need all of them? Like, do I really need pets necessarily? Maybe. Like, it could be. But when you look at all these things, it's probably safe to say that not all of them are 100% necessary. But no matter what you wind up with, even if you were to cut this down, it's still going to be a lot to dump on the user as their very first experience. So my suggestion, can take it for what it's worth, is if you've got this really simple tap to fight mechanic, which is great, start me off with that. Just drop me off in a scenario where I just have like a slime to attack, give me just enough power where I can win the battle, and then from there you can introduce new things, like maybe you can introduce upgrades as the next step, and then as I start balancing my upgrades, my combat, I can evolve the character and fight a few more enemies and kind of get a flow going, and then you can start introducing quests and skills and pets.
Give me 1 second, Alex. I can actually go back to make it where it was before, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. Refresh it now.
Okay. Let's see.
Is this a little better?
It is a little bit better. Yeah, I see what you mean. And it looks like, I can actually also, and I can win the battle. Okay, great. So this is actually much closer to what I was hoping for.
Okay.
So now what I'd still recommend, though, because it still took a little bit of kind of extra visual thinking to kind of figure this all out, is I would love for a lot of this stuff that, like, I'm zooming in here, all this menu stuff at the bottom, I would love for that to kind of be introduced into the game more gradually. Like it'd be really
Okay.
cool if I had minimal display and a first enemy to attack, and before anything happens, I just beat my first enemy, I gain some XP, maybe I get my first upgrade, whatever, and then you start introducing all the menus. I just think it's a really hard thing to see that all as your very first impression of a game. Makes it seem more complicated than it probably is.
If you beat the monster, you get a treasure chest, so beat the boss.
Okay. And by the way, I like this. I like just this tapping. This works. This is great. I think this is what the user. Ooh, very cool. Yeah, see, now how great would this be? Imagine if, say, I got through 3 enemies and then I got that treasure chest, and that was my first experience in the first, say, 20 seconds of the game, and then you start introducing menus. I feel like that'd be a much better chance of the user being excited, getting into the game, and then being very open to exploring all this extra stuff. But if the first thing I see before I've even tapped anything is all these menus, I don't even know if I like this game yet. And I feel like you're asking me to figure out too much before I've made a choice. So give them an easy choice to make. Give them something super easy and fun, and then the choice will be great. I like it. Now give me more. And then I think you're in a really good position to start introducing more features and more upgrades and even just having more menus on the screen. So
I don't
really,
want to have too many menus. So you think like these 6 would be enough? Because before you started, I had like almost 10 different menus. I thought it was like too many.
yeah, well, I mean, it's based on the game. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just, does your game require 6 menus, 10 menus, 3 menus? I mean, hopefully it's closer to 3. Generally speaking,
Yeah, I wanted to just have like upgrades, maybe an item/shops, and then being able to upgrade the character because it is because it's for the game jam. I don't want to give them too much because I want them to just have like a little bit.
yeah, I think that is the right instinct. So yeah, I would say simplify this. Any features you don't think are 100% necessary, cut them. Just make the game simple and lean. Like look at Pika's farming game from earlier. That game is dead simple, but you're not missing anything. It's really, really good for what it is. I think that's a really good model for most of us to follow. So I would suggest that. But yeah, other than that, I'd say just start me off with an easy battle, give me something fun to do, and then introduce the battles. And I'll give you one more little piece of juice feedback, just because I think this is already a good. I love the pixel art look. It's very cute, very fun. When I tap, give me something visual, like the enemy bounces or shakes or something, to make me feel like my tap really did something. I think that alone would increase the satisfaction of the game a lot.
I was thinking like maybe like a death animation or something too.
Oh, for sure. But I'm just saying the first thing would be just when I
Oh yeah,
tap,
like the vibration. Yeah.
yeah, or like a bouncing, or maybe it moves to the side, or whatever you want. But yeah, a lot of those ideas are easy, I think, and they'll immediately make the game better.
Oh yeah. To your question, the Barbie one. A funny thing, it has a less play, so it's at 40,000 views with 119 median time, but the Undead one's at close to 30,000 with a 135 median time. Because I just put the Barbie one out there, and it seems to be doing better view wise, but median time the other one's doing better.
This is your first person shooter, your Barbie zombie shooter
Yeah, the
game?
one that you guys saw like last week.
Wow. So you got 135 or 119? Which one?
119. Let me put it in
Well,
the
they're both
chat one
great.
second.
Those are both really, really good
Yeah,
medium
this is
playtime.
the Barbie, and that's just check the chat. There we go.
Okay.
It's at 40,000 views now when I checked, but this was a little earlier. So it's like 117 to 119.
Really good. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're there. I mean, is there anything you want to change about the game? 132 Undead is incredible. It's a great medium playtime.
I think I'm going to keep it the way it is and maybe make another one.
Yeah. I mean, if you've already got great medium playtime, I wouldn't mess with success. Cool. Nicely done. Okay, let's move on to a story of a creator from IQ Level Up. And again, I love it. Clickbait thumbnail, ultimate MVP. This is awesome. Well done. All right. Oh, interesting. Okay, so let me just restart that so everyone can see something. So you'll notice when this game started, there looked here some broken images or whatever. None of us like that. We all want our games to look super polished. But what's great about that is the creator allowed me to get into the game and get started before everything loaded, which is always preferable to making somebody wait for a long loading time. So I think that's the right move. Okay. This is definitely better than what we saw on the merge game from earlier, but I still get a little bit worried about 5 tutorial steps. My concern is some people see this. I know there's a skip button, but I do worry some people think this game is going to be complicated if I have to go through 5 steps to start. But I'll hold judgment because I don't know for sure. It's just my first thought. Although I'm having trouble clicking this. Let me try that again in case I did something wrong. Okay, got it. Okay, well, this actually looks pretty good. So this is a nice kind of spotlight style tutorial. It's showing what to do. Hit generate idea. I don't know what this game is, by the way, so I'm doing what the tutorial tells me. Okay, I will say this though. This is very confusing. Publish approved equals plays. I don't know what this means. I'm being guided, which is good, but I really don't get what the concept is, and there's a lot to read. And now I'm like, my concern is I don't know what this means, and I'm afraid a lot of users won't know what this means either. And then, and I've got this up here. Do I close this? Yeah, sorry to say, I'm having trouble getting started on this game. First of all, I'm noticing there's a lot of issues with responsiveness. Like, I can't seem to click anything. And I may have broken the game, but I'm not sure how because I was really just clicking buttons. So let's try this one more time. Next. Generate idea. Okay. Although, I saw, let me do it one more time. Check this out. I think I saw a progress bar filling up behind the dark fade there. Like, wow, there's a lot. Yeah, so that was a little confusing because, sorry, I cannot seem to zoom in and then retain clicking. This game somehow loses mouse focus very easily. That may be totally unrelated to anything you did, but for some reason I lose focus. Anyway, look down here. When I hit generate idea, you see something filling up in the background. That definitely confused me a little bit, but okay. Okay. All right. So I got into the game, although I don't really know what that is. And I've got upgrades, but I don't know what I'm upgrading yet. And it says, well, okay, so it's kind of like a meta Astrocade themed game. Got it. I feel like there's something very smart and intriguing at the core of this game. Like, it looks like a lot of thought went into it, but there's just something preventing me from totally clicking. I think this is because I don't know what to focus on. There's so much on the screen, and it looks nice. It's very polished, but there's so much text. There's so many things competing for my attention. The UI has got a lot. It's very dense. And like, I'm seeing stuff down here that looks like it's kind of like a satire of Astrocade, which is super cool. This is a great idea, but it's so hard to know what to focus on. Now, let me generate an idea again. Let's see what happens. I prefer simple. Yeah, see, I'm picking up satirical elements that I want to enjoy more than I do, but it's I wish the game gave me a little bit more of a clean focal point. Hmm. Yeah, that part I think I get. I think that the issue I'm having though is for whatever reason the game I continually seem to lose the ability to click. So I think it's more of a technical issue, honestly, than anything else. So that I think has to be addressed first because it's just kind of hard to play test it. Oh, there we go. Something clicked back in again. But yeah, I mean, I clicked twice, approved. Okay, so yeah, this is probably the most confused I've been by a UI in a game that I've seen. So I don't know. I don't have a simple solution for this, and this is why playtesting is good because other people may respond differently than I do. But even accounting for my usual confusion of trying to stream for the group while also playing the game, I still think this is just asking a lot of concentration from the user. Yeah, that's my main feedback. I would love to see whatever is going on here. I think there's something really clever. Whatever's going on here, I think could just be made simpler. If there was a simpler version of this that feels like I can focus on one or two major things, then I would love that. But for as it is now, I feel like I'm overwhelmed. That's my main feedback. From here on out, I want to kind of speed run things a little bit because we're way over time, but I want to make sure everyone gets a chance. So I'm going to jump onto the next one, which is Cellular Arena. Let's see this one. Ooh, looks like it's kind of an IO style game. Maybe? Maybe. How do I died very quickly. Oh, I get it. Okay, so there's no arrow keys, but it looks like I can do, wait, can I? Movement in this game is complicated. It's funny. I normally I normally criticize games for having too much explanation. I feel like this one is a little bit too few. Ooh, okay, so I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I know I can split up by hitting the space bar. That's interesting. But I don't know how to move because I feel like sometimes it's responding to key presses and then sometimes it's not. Let me try that one more time. I'm not doing anything right now, and it moved on its own. Okay, finally. I feel like it wasn't doing this originally, but now it's following the trackpad. Okay. So that could I'm sure that was a mistake on my part. For whatever reason, I could not get this thing to move, and now it's moving. Great. Okay. So I am once again operating under the assumption that it's kind of an IO style game. I have to like make my player get bigger, and I have to avoid bigger enemies while I do that. I love this kind of splitting up mechanic. That's really cool. It gives the game this kind of like, I don't know, viral, bacterial kind of whatever vibe, like I'm in a petri dish. Okay, so now that I've gotten over whatever the weirdness was with the moving, I'm enjoying it a lot more. So it looks like it's kind of a twist on the IO style because not only do I have to like get bigger and all that, but I have to manage multiple kind of instances of myself. And I can fuse back together, and then if I hit space, I now have two of me. I wonder if I can grow them independently. Like if one gets bigger than the other. Yeah, I think it kind of does look like that. Yeah, this is cool. Oh, I was too small for that guy. Okay, so yeah, I really like this. I think I wouldn't worry too much about my difficulty getting the game going. I think something's up with my browser. I think it's operating pretty much fine now. The biggest thing though is that ability to split yourself up, which is really unique. It was kind of hidden. Like there was some very small text saying that you can do it with the space bar, and then I think it happens when you run into these green guys. Yeah, there you go. But really, I feel like make this more obvious to the user because it's a really, really cool feature. This is a very unique twist on this genre, and I think you should make a bigger deal out of it. I also personally think, I don't know if I love the colors. The reason I say that is, first of all, I'm yellow on white, which is kind of a legibility issue. A lot of people are going to have trouble really seeing that, and even if you can see it, it'd be better if it just stood out more. So I'd maybe make the player darker, or just consider flipping the color scheme, making it all on a dark background, because a lot of these colors, even as they are, would look fine on black or some dark color. Not a requirement, but it'd be nice for the game to have a little bit more legibility. I also feel like I'm getting a little frustrated by the movement speed. I don't know if there's more I can do to boost my speed at all, but I feel sluggish. It's okay at first, but it'd be great if I could speed up a little bit over time. After a while, it just starts to feel too slow. But really, I think this whole idea of kind of an IO game, but with splitting up, kind of cell division or whatever, that's a really, really cool idea. Oh, by the way, one other tiny suggestion. I know it's more of a juice thing. I just want more to happen when I collect stuff. Like I just want more of a sense of satisfaction when I absorb something into me. Right now, it just seems like it just kind of happens. So something else to work on. But great concept, really, really cool. All right. Next up, Bob Disney's Clash 3D. That is an awesome loading screen, by the way. Okay, so I saw this a while ago. I got to ask Bob Disney, where did these assets come from? Because these little animated vignettes are like amazing. They're so perfect. Oh, that's right. We played this last time, the Lego Deadpool game. I love the way the character moves. This is amazing. Okay, so I can attack with, actually no, I can jump with space. I guess I attack with the trackpad button. Clicking, tapping to attack, and then T to teleport, let's say. Let's go here. I love the Loki style teleporter. That's awesome. Okay, so I think what we talked about last time was that it would just be great for the game to have a little bit more of a sense of purpose. Oh, I guess I have to chat with Batman, not attack Batman. I pointed this out last time. It has these great kind of cinematic cutscene kind of things. This is so with like camera movements and everything. This is so crazy. I feel like this chat side of things, though, something about it's not quite working for me. I wonder if it's because I just feel like it doesn't really do anything. I may be missing something. Maybe there's something that unlocks, but it kind of feels like there's no real purpose to it. I don't know if that's true, but that's just kind of my initial impression. What I love about this game is that of course it looks good, but it handles really well. Like I can move around really easily. The bobbing, jumping effect is perfect. I feel like combat is not the strength of this game yet, although I don't know if it's even supposed to be, because I'm mostly not really seeing great opportunities to attack things. And yet I can kind of swing my sword. So I feel like I'm supposed to attack things. It's just not super clear that I have any obvious reason to. Like everything in the game, unless this is I don't think these are bad guys. Pretty much everything in the game seems like chat and maybe survival. So I don't know, just thinking out loud about that. Oh, you may have said this last time. Apologies. Made them with Meshy. So this is awesome. These are great Meshy characters. They look really, really good. That's cool. Flip with B. That's fun. Oh, and I've got emotes. Oh, that's cool. So it's a lot of stuff that's cool. I keep saying that's cool because these are all really cool details. But yeah, I think the biggest thing missing for me is like a really clear sense of what the purpose of the game is other than exploring and chatting. I know there was like a survival thing when I went to, I'll go back to here, in this void level, I have to survive. I'm being shot at from that big floating thing. I forgot the name. And that's cool, but I also feel like it feels very passive. Nothing really feels that urgent. So given how great this game looks and plays, I just want to feel like there's a more obvious purpose for all this. But yeah, I mean, you've obviously got something really, really amazing as a foundation. So let's run with that. Okay, while we're at it, Dalen's been very patient. Let's check out your game, Dalen. Dalen, are you there?
Yep.
All right, so Final Fantasy VII Text Adventure. Starting the game.
I've been trying to add sound file, like the music from the game, but I can't really do that.
You should be able to upload it. If you have like a file on your computer, you should be able to upload it and tell it to play it. Has that not worked?
Well, I tried my phone. I haven't used the computer yet.
Oh yeah, it's usually easier on desktop. I'd recommend that. So I'm playing your game and I'm not seeing anything.
I don't get it. How does that make
I've got
sense?
options, save game, and load game, but I have no like text story content.
Huh? Does that make? Why does it always work for me, but not for anyone else? I don't get it.
Have you pushed your latest update to the publish branch?
I always push the publish button every time I make any updates.
Yeah, I mean, as always, if you can clean it up, you're welcome to bring it back. If you make a quick change, I'm happy to give you more time today before we close. If not, we can try again tomorrow whenever you're free. But if you have an opportunity to play test with anybody else, that's always highly recommended. We're always happy to play test it here. It's one of the reasons we do office hours. But you can usually get faster feedback if there's anyone else you can share the game with and see if they're having similar issues. And by the way, don't forget, you can always do playtesting on the Discord. We added the Playtest My Game channel specifically. I'm sorry, Playtest Your Game, specifically for that purpose. So if you want to see if anyone in one of the chats is free, they can join you in that channel. You send them the link and you can just watch and listen to them playtest your game. I also highly recommend that. A lot of you guys have been putting that to really good use. So keep that up. Anyway, Dalen, if you can get it fixed, let me know and we'll play it today. If not, we can try again tomorrow.
Oh.
Okay, so in the meantime, this is Fruit Smoothie Merge from Plankton Fun. Played this game last time and it was really good, and it looks like it's been refined a little bit further. First thing I'm noticing is the handle is attached to the blender properly. That was a super tiny detail, but it's nice to see that fixed. All right, let's see. Oh, wait a second. What is wrong with me? Wrong button. Okay, I've spoiled something very cool because this looks amazing, but let's try this again. Okay, I forgot to put fruit in the blender. Typical power user move. Oh, and I forgot, this involves the whole 2D plane, is that right? Like, it's not just like a flat merge game where they all fall on top of each other. You've actually got to kind of get it to, you are the fruit messiah. One thing I think I would like to see is, I don't know, it might be kind of cool if there was a little bit more of an animation when they merge. There's nothing really wrong with it now. It looks good, it plays pretty well. But it'd be kind of cool if there's a little bit more ceremony, a little bit more effects when the fruits merge. The only reason I say that is because you've raised the bar so high with the visuals in this game, with the whole 3D blender and everything. All right, so I've got a bunch of good merged fruits, racked up a score. Now let's see what happens if I blend it. That looks awesome. This is so cool. Man, this looks really good. Okay, now we're gonna pour it in, kind of. Oh man, this is such a cool concept. It's like a first-person drinking simulator. Okay, one thing though, and this is so obvious, but I noticed that my eye, if I'm a new player, my eye was drawn to the green power button. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's nothing telling me that I just tap to start dropping fruits in. And again, it seems kind of obvious, but I feel like for a brand new user, especially if I haven't played like a 3D version of this kind of game, I think that kind of prompting would be good. It doesn't add much, and it doesn't even have to be a blocker. It can just say tap to drop, and then it goes away as soon as I tap. I'm just catching up with the chat. Yeah, this is... Also, I don't know if this is a... I don't know if this is a pun, but nice blender model. And Plankton Fun says, no, it's procedural. That is a really clever pun in case anyone didn't pick up on that. I don't even know if it was supposed to be, but that's very funny. Okay, so I would really strongly encourage just some encouragement for me to tap because it wasn't super obvious. The other thing I'm noticing is, I don't know if this is a bug, but notice when I first tap, I get this... Actually, no, not even that. Sometimes I get the little crosshair, and then other times I don't. I don't know why I get it sometimes I don't. Like at the bottom of the blender, at the floor of the blender, I'll see this little marker of where the fruit will drop. Is there a reason why they only get that sometimes? Plankton's responding while I continue dropping fruit blindly. It's overlapping me. Yeah, okay, that's a possibility. So it looks like it's not intentional. I would maybe ask Astra to raise that up a little bit. Just even raise it up enough where it's not even really necessarily that close. Because I think right now it's so close that it can be above or below and you get inconsistent visuals. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I would add the little thing to tell people to tap and maybe even, how about this? Maybe even disable this button if it's empty. I mean, it's kind of funny you can blend nothing, so maybe keep it if you want. But just as a matter of user confusion, it'd also be kind of cool, and I guess you can decide when you want to blend it. Like, I don't know if there's a particular cutoff when you're allowed to start blending it or whatever, but it might be kind of cool if this button started glowing or something when I have a certain amount of fruit in here. I love this Timu pineapple. But it'd be kind of cool if the button would turn on at a certain point instead of it just always being there, because my concern is you're either going to notice it too soon and you're going to press it immediately, or you may just never notice it. And I think both of those extremes are bad. So it might be kind of fun if when the game starts, I'm being told to tap to start dropping fruit, the button is disabled or in some way kind of downplayed, and then at a certain point in the game, it becomes like it glows or an arrow points or something. Let me know that now it's time I can blend my fruit if I want. Because the blending is really fun, and it's really cool as a kind of a reward for reaching a certain level of points or whatever. But it's there's so much fun stuff in this game. Cool. Really nicely done, Plankton Fun. Really, really great concept. All right, next up is Cube 1024 3D. I think this game was actually already part of the Satisfying Game Jam, but it was really good, so I don't mind playing it again and showing everybody. So here we have another kind of take on the IO kind of game where I run around and have to get bigger, but with a lot of twists on it. So first of all, I love how responsive this game is. This game is so fast and smooth. It really is just, it feels good just to play it. This is a great example of how to balance juice, everybody. On the one hand, it's very, very simple. There's not like a distracting amount of polish. On the other hand, it's so fast and so clean that combined with the subtle but really nicely done elements of polish, like the little particle trail behind me or the screen shake when I run into something, it makes the game feel really, really nicely done, even though it's simple. Like, I don't mistake it for being unfinished. I can tell it's finished, but it's like a simplistic kind of finish, which is great. It's just very satisfying to collect stuff, and then there's this element of the cubes kind of trailing you, and then you increment the values of the cubes, and you create this kind of like cubic worm thing almost. So it's really, really good. It's also a great example, in my opinion, of where there's a kind of minimal onboarding, and that doesn't mean that I understand everything. In fact, I don't totally understand it, but it's one of those games where even if your understanding is, say, 80%, you can still play the game and make progress and kind of intuitively grasp what's going on without really directly thinking about it, which is great. Like, it's simple to play. The complexity is such that I can kind of enjoy it if I want to, but if I don't think about it, it doesn't stop me from playing it. So really, really good balance. And I just love the visual style. It's 3D, but not in a showy way. Like, simple stuff like this kind of dotted background is just really nice. So yeah, great. I mean, I don't think I have much feedback on this. Okay, I'm going to move on to B-Little's Serpent's Labyrinth. B-Little's been really working overtime lately. You know what I'm going to say? Wall of text tutorial screen. Highly advise against it, but that's okay. Okay, so this is, wow, this game is very dark. Oh, it's like a jump scare game. Okay, cool. I wonder if this power pole shine any light on things. No, it didn't. Very moody, very cool sense of kind of atmosphere. I hope over the streaming connection, it's not all getting lost, because there are like these subtle like red eyes that are kind of scary, kind of. And then this creepy face that comes out of nowhere. I will admit, though, I'm kind of moving around randomly. So even though I always advise against this, I will restart so I can read my little wall of text tutorial screen. Objective, collect 10 glowing orbs per level. Okay. Simple enough. So I have to collect 10 glowing orbs while avoiding these creepy red eye things, I'm guessing. There's one. So the whole angle of this game being very dark, I think on the one hand, it's kind of cool. On the other hand, it's so dark that it does make the game kind of frustrating, because I feel like my ability to navigate is very limited. I'm also playing on a screen that's got a certain amount of reflection and glare, which is making it harder to see what I'm doing. So I'm kind of getting through it, but I wonder if you can lighten it up just enough. Like, I want to keep the dark, creepy vibe. That's great. I'm not suggesting to change that, but it does make it hard to explore. And I just kind of noticed, I think my tail is growing, but I can barely see it. I would just love to have a little bit more visibility. But now that my eyes are adjusting a little bit, it's really responsive. Like, it's an example of a 3D game that just plays in a really fluid way. So I like that. Oh, there's another one. And I like this idea of kind of going around a maze, trying to collect these pieces. That's cool. Oh, I'm a little confused by the faces, though. I thought the faces originally were related to the glowing red eyes. It kind of seems like they're not, though. I don't totally understand that. Okay, so B-Little is saying it was just kind of some 3D experimentation. I mean, look, by experimentation standards, actually, it's a pretty good start. I don't think it's bad at all. It just needs some balance. All right. So unfortunately, I know Black Widow Inc. had to take off, but let's play his game. This is Brickade. Or perhaps it's pronounced Brichade. I'm going to pronounce it Brichade. So this is Black Widow Inc.'s Brichade. Tap to play, drag to aim, and release to fire. All right. Nice in-game tutorial. Great. Oh, this is super cool. Stop the brick. Okay. So it's kind of like a radial breakout with these kind of like angle trajectory lines, and then with like these sort of aggressor bricks that you have to like take out with deliberate shots. All right, this is super cool. As you can see, the only...
This is a... Sorry.
Sorry, what was that?
This is going to take a lot longer than I thought it would. My game just completely crashed. It's not working at all.
Okay, well...
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no worries. We'll be around when you get it working. Okay, so what is great about this game is it is minimal instruction necessary. All I had to learn was to tap and drag. That's great. And then I'm in business. And really everything else about the game kind of is explained as it comes up. So now it says tap to open upgrades. Let's check those out. $25 can add a ball. All right, so now I get 2 at once. Great. Yeah, this is excellent. So I'll break down what I like about this game. Super simple to get started. I think any game that involves dragging to shoot something to aim is just always kind of fun. So I love that. It's got a really cool visual style. The hexagons are kind of a unique shape. The fact that there's this kind of continual camera zoom out is really nice. I don't even know how I did that, but that was amazing. Or maybe I died. Maybe that sucked. The only thing I'm noticing, though, is for some reason, sometimes maybe I'm just dragging wrong. I feel like the drag doesn't always work. That's a minor note. But other than that, though, it's such a great concept. Yeah, I really like this. I advise everyone to check it out. Play this game. Very, very cool. Yes, I agree, Pika. It is a very satisfying zoom out. And just cool little stuff like the way things bounce when they're struck. It adds a lot of life, but it's not too complicated. Yep, I love it. So I'll make sure Black Widow Inc. hears the feedback because he's one of our power creators for sure, but I think he's got another really good game on his hands. Oh, and then wait, no, can you not? I guess the zoom out is almost like a time limit, and I don't think it's a zoom out. I think these things are all closing in on me. Okay. I feel dumb not noticing that earlier. So I interpret everything in kind of cinematic terms. It's not a zoom out. It's just the walls are closing in. It's great. Really cool game. I guess I can upgrade. Cool, let's try that. Yes, powered up. Okay, now I can actually keep up with the incursion of these closing walls. Boss approaching. All right, this game has bosses too. Wow. Oh man, and this is very, very impressive. I mean, this game almost looks like choreographed. It's like everything started dancing when the boss appeared. And this is a great example of where you do not need fancy assets. Like, there's not a lot to download in this game. There's not a bunch of big image textures. It's just really, really clever use of geometric shapes. There's like a little bit of drop shadow, some beveled edges maybe, but I mean, other than that, it's pretty much all just shapes, nice game design, a good use of color and effects and et cetera, but amazing. Yeah, I like this game a lot. Okay. Well, that is going to wrap up office hours. I think we did 2 hours. Nice. Well, thanks everyone for sharing the excellent games. Really, really good. And we'll see you tomorrow, same time.